full definition. All right, we are live.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. This is a pretty exciting moment. We are doing the first live stream of the world's largest hackathon. So,
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Pretty big moment. So we have some guests here today. So, maybe we will do a quick roundtable while we wait for people to log in. So maybe Kate, you want to kick us off with the intros?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Kate. I'm on the marketing team here at Bolt. You may have seen me in our office hours, but if you haven't seen me, it's good to meet you via live stream. Mallory, you want to go next?
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Mallory. I'm leading all things brand marketing here at Bolt, and I'm super stoked for this hackathon. So I think, what are we, like 10 days away at this point? Who's counting down? 10 days, something like that. But yeah, nice to meet you all and super stoked about this.
Awesome. Rachel.
Is that me? Hey, everybody. I'm Ray from River. We are powering all the IRL meetups, the components of the hackathon. Super excited. We already have 90 cities who've been getting together, and I'm sure there will be more. And with me is Bernie.
Hi, I'm Bernie. I'm the co-founder of River. I'm also a CTO here. So if something is not working for you, I'm the one to blame. So just
everyone blame Bernie. Even if it's not his fault.
Awesome. And then I'm Alex Berger, Chief of Staff here at Bolt.new. But more importantly, I'm going to be your live stream host for the world's largest hackathon. So we're going to be running a ton of these over the event. And these, if you're locked in and focused on this event, these live streams are where you need to be. You're going to hear announcements, tips and tricks, advice, and everything you need to know to compete in and hopefully have a solid chance at winning this event. So this is definitely the place to be. And we're starting this off today with a live stream that's focusing on the in-person event aspect of the world's largest hackathon, and that's why we've got the River team here to talk to us about that, because obviously it's a global event. We're going to be doing a lot of the educational aspects over the live streams. But for everybody who's participating, there's going to be tons and tons of opportunities to meet up with people in real life, form teams, work together, learn new skills. And maybe you end up meeting someone that's going to be your co-founder in a real business after this thing at one of these events. So super important to connect with other people in person, we take our own advice. So for those of you that don't know and that are just kind of familiarizing yourself with Bolt, Bolt is the whole team is fully remote. So we work all around the world, ton of us in Europe, ton of us in America, and we're very spread out. However, we also recognize the importance of getting together every once in a while to work on tough problems, get on the same page. And we actually did that last week. So we all just made it back home from our annual offsite, and it was unbelievably productive. So, even though we are all kind of, many of us at least, working full time in this Zoom or Google Hangouts based world, I definitely do recommend getting together in person to figure out the hard problems and build a good vibe with your team, which does matter when you're actually trying to get stuff done and everybody's working hard. So super excited for Rachel to tell us more about that aspect of the event. But in the meantime, I got a few exciting announcements to make about what you can be expecting and what you should keep an eye out for over the next few days. So first of all, a lot of you in the chat are probably thinking, I don't know, Bolt, building web applications, software, websites, that's kind of not really something I'm super comfortable with. I'd love if I could get some assistance. I need some hand holding and help getting started. Well, we thought of that as well. And so we're actually launching a program called the Bolt Community Mentor Program just for this hackathon, where we are looking for folks who are experienced with Bolt already, who are part of our community and who want to step up to the plate and help others during the course of this hackathon, help them learn how to use the tool, help them think through their projects, help them troubleshoot, etc. So this is a really, really great opportunity for some of our more experienced Bolt builders. If you want to establish yourself as a leader in the community, have an opportunity to work directly with the Bolt team, and make a little money, but that's more of an afterthought for this program. This is really about establishing yourself and your reputation in the Bolt builder community, and it's likely going to lead to a lot of future opportunities. So we're going to do a whole nother live stream in more detail on this. There's a lot to it, but to get started, we dropped the link in the chat. You can also find it on contra.com and just look and just search for the Bolt.new community mentor opportunity. But yeah, there's a lot more to be said there. Super, super excited for that program. Definitely worth checking that out. So that's the first thing. The second thing I wanted to mention is that if this may be a more narrow audience, but if some of you are into making content, we need help getting the word out about this hackathon. And more specifically, if you're already in this live chat, chances are you understand that in the new era of AI coding tools that we're living in, anybody can make a website or a web software application, but many people do not know that. And if we don't get that message out, then they're going to miss out on the opportunity to participate in this hackathon. A lot of people might not even know exactly what a hackathon is. So we really need your help to get the word out that this is an event that anybody can compete in. Hackathon's not a scary thing. It's just you build something, and with a tool like Bolt.new, all you have to do is be able to describe your idea and learn some troubleshooting tips, work with the community mentors, and you'll be able to figure it out. So with that in mind, we're spinning up this program where essentially you can make short form video content. That's your vertical format video content on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. And if your video gets some traction, you can get paid. So we're basically creating some rewards that you can get for making short form content talking about the hackathon. All the details on that are at a link that Kate will drop into the chat here. We're running it on a platform called WHOP, W-H-O-P. And that program's called the Bolt.new Creators Program. So if you're interested in making some content, definitely go check that out. And I guess that's probably those are the two main things I want to talk about. I will say, stay tuned. I'm going to talk about this a little more actually in the middle of Rachel's presentation, so I won't totally spoil it here. But there's some exciting announcements around sponsors coming next week, and I'll explain why you should do that later.
And we should post a Discord chat so that if people, because we have a host, like an approved host Slack, but if you're not hosting but you want to find teammates, there's a Discord happening. That probably is the best way to find other builders to work together. Okay, am I sharing my screen? What's happening? I'll start sharing my screen.
Yes, let's do it.
I'm sending it entire screen.
Nobody ping Rachel right now.
I have those turned off. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be partnering with Bolt to bring builders together IRL all over the world for the world's largest hackathon. There's going to be $1 million worth of prizes. I keep updating this slide. I've updated it 5 times this morning. It's still out of date, but there are 31,000 hackathon signups There are 3,200 builders gathering together IRL, and we already have 90 cities locked in with a host and a venue set. And tons of events already happened last night. There will be tons more IRL meetups all around the world. Tons of cities. It's just like so exciting to see the global reach happening. And Alex, you want to jump in and thank your sponsors?
Okay, you really popped this up quick. So, okay, this is, for the sponsors that are watching, this is completely live and my first time. So here's what's great to know is that this is only going to get better over the course of this event. For everybody else watching, this is kind of a sneak peek. Technically, we have not announced our sponsors yet. More information on that is going to be coming next week. And it's very important that you pay attention to that for two reasons. One, the sponsors are providing the tools and integrations that you're going to need to make the best possible project. So that's important. But also, many of the sponsors are sponsoring special challenge prizes that they will be educating you on how you can win. And I'm not going to exactly spoil the surprise, but I'll say that the sponsor prizes are more than $1,000, more than $5,000, or more than $10,000.
What?
If I keep going, I will eventually hit the numbers. So I'm gonna leave it there. But stay tuned next week. This is a huge batch of prize money that you can win from our awesome sponsors. With that being said, on the slide here, we have our soon to be announced gold tier sponsors. And these folks are the people that really stepped up to ensure that we could make this event happen and make this event huge. Okay. And so I just wanted to quickly talk through why some of these folks are extremely important. So if you've used Bolt.new before, then you're already going to be familiar with the folks on the bottom of the slide there, Netlify and Supabase. Netlify is the company that makes it super easy to deploy your web application right from within Bolt. When you hit that deploy button in the upper right-hand corner, that deploys out to Netlify, and then you'll get a link in chat to go claim your site and claim it into your account, and you can manage it from there. You can attach all kinds of other Netlify services to it as you build out more complexity. But the main thing that I love about Netlify is it just makes it literally as easy as a single click to deploy, and it's just super fast, super responsive. And so we're really appreciative of their support of the hackathon and their integration with the product. Supabase is another one that you've most likely used if you've ever added authentication to your app, or if you've ever needed a database, or if you're less technical, if you've made an application that needs to store some data and remember it for next time when you come back to the app, that's where Supabase comes into play. We have that integration built right into the app, super easy to get it set up, and really an awesome partner to our company and the hackathon. Then on the upper line here, we've got some new partners that we have not worked with before the hackathon. So Entry. Entry is a service they're all about domains, but they come at it from a lot of different angles. So the most simple thing is that you can purchase domains from them, and they make it incredibly easy to actually get them set up. If you've ever, bought a domain from Google Domains and then tried to point it at, a GoDaddy site you're hosting, you're probably familiar with you set a bunch of settings. It tells you it's going to take 24 hours to propagate. It never propagates. You realize the settings were wrong, and it's just this really frustrating experience. So that is what Entry solves. They make it super easy to actually get your domain configured and pointed at where you're actually hosting your site. If you don't have a domain, not going to spoil the surprise, but they may help you out there. They may help you out there as well. So more to come on that. Stay tuned next week. I see Crispective in the chat definitely understands the pain of this situation. I mean, I think everybody that has ever deployed a website knows exactly what they're talking about there.
I do it infrequently enough that I completely forgot how to do it since the last time.
every single time. I can't remember. But the thing I do know now is usually it really doesn't take 24 hours to propagate. So like if it's not working, you probably have something configured incorrectly. But I'm looking forward to learning how to do this with Entry, make it a lot easier. They also, we're going to do a whole live stream with them, but they also have like the ability, I believe, for you to actually build domain names selling into your application to your users. So there's something there. Finally, Revenue Cat. They are the #1 payment processor for mobile applications in the iOS App Store. So with the recent news around Apple having to actually give the app creators all of the money that you make, now Revenue Cat can actually help you collect 30% more money than what you would have otherwise gotten in the olden days. So yeah, if you're going to be selling things inside of your app, Revenue Cat is an important one to figure out. So we'll be also having a live stream with all of these people to dig in deeper. But anyhow, back to you, Rachel. But thank you to these sponsors.
Such meow. Amazing. Thanks, Alex. Okay, save the date. So the hackathon build period is from May 30th to June 30th. I believe the team has chosen a longer date. I know hackathons are usually like a 24-hour fever dream or something, but they really want you to build something meaningful, something that can be shipped and launched as a business that can have real users. So taking a little bit of time to get that right. And like we've been saying, there will be $1 million worth of prizes. I will be hosting a go-to-market workshop on June 2nd. So I'm a marketer turned founder, venture-backed founder. And I partnered up with 2 buddies for Miami Hack Week a couple years ago. And we won first place along with best use of OpenAI. And a lot of people think the reason we won, because there were some pretty compelling projects, but we really had like visuals down packed. We told our story. People understood what we were building. You can build like a chatbot with satellites in space or whatever, but like if no one understands what it is, it's going to be hard to win. And so join me for a 90-minute go-to-market workshop. You'll leave with a whole plan, a Notion checklist with everything explained, so you can just go right down the list and knock it all out of the park. And then there will be July 26th. There's going to be IRL watch parties for the award ceremony, which is going to be live streamed on YouTube and hosted by Greg Eisenberg. We will spin up the IRL watch parties, kind of like Oscar watch parties. And then you can apply to host. If you've already been hosting, you'll get dibs and host those live stream watch parties and see where all these prizes head out to. It's going to be super fun. You can find everything at rvr.to/bolt. I wanted to shout out some of our hosts who've already been hosting. We've got Anna in Lisbon, Connor in Dublin, SJ in New York City, Shaggy, my friend Shaggy in Salt Lake City, Ryan O'Hara and I are hosting tonight in Portsmouth, Adam in Seattle. Thank you so much to everyone. Clarette in Zurich. I know Anna's going to meet Clarette. Thank you so much to everyone who hosts. These things only happen if someone steps up to host. Hosting is very easy. I'll explain it. You usually just got to pick a spot. Not a big deal, but bringing together people is super important. I know tons of people have questions on rules and prizes, and you can find those all on DevPost, world's largest hackathon.devpost.com. Alex, do you want to make a comment or?
Just that the prizes aren't up yet, but that the rules are. So,
sorry.
Yeah, the rules are all up there, and prizes will be announced very, very shortly. I hear very shortly, so it could be. Okay. We're not waiting until the 30th. I think that's what it says on the site, but we're going to get that up.
Nice. And I think the number one question I've been seeing from people is like, does it entirely have to be built on Bolt? And I think the answer is no.
Yeah,
just make a note there.
Yeah, what I dropped in on the folks asking that in Slack last night was basically like, we want the project to be, materially started in Bolt. So we left that broad because we want you to be able to work with all the sponsors and other tools and get creative and figure out the most important thing, like the guiding principle, is build something that's useful. Build something that will deliver value or joy to real users. And we want to leave the creative space open as wide as possible for you to go do that.
Amazing. And then I'm just going to shout out a bunch of resources. Maybe Kate or someone can drop these in the chat, but someone made a hackathon hype track and it slaps. It is legitimately great. You can find that on SoundCloud. I was jamming to it last night. There is a shiny school getting started with Bolt. That'll help you. These are some resources. There's a YouTube channel. There's YouTube episode that's great, building an app with Bolt. You can find a mentor on contra.com, and then learn to create on Bolt. There's a Whoop. How do you say it? Whoop, whoop, whop, whop, whop. WAP.com/Bolt new creators. So Kate will drop all those links in the chat, I believe, and you can hit us up. And then if you RSVP to this River event, I'll also send an email out after with links to everything. So you can, because I know there's like a zillion links.
Okay. And the only thing I would modify on there, Rachel, sorry, is that that's not where to find a mentor. That's where to sign up to be a mentor.
Oh, sorry.
And
we made these slides like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, no worries. To find a mentor, you're going to want to hang out in these live stream chats, in the Reddit, and in the Discord. The mentors are just going to be deploying into the community, so that when people raise their hands and ask good questions, someone will be there to help them out.
Okay, so this should say be a mentor. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, how to join. So you can register for the hackathon at hackathon.dev. You'll build your app with Bolt at bolt.new, and you can join or host IRL meetups at rbr.to/bolt. I think hosting to meetups is a great way to just like get feedback on your idea, team formation, meet other cool people right in your city. I think it's a super valuable way to meet builders. That's how I met all my friends here in New Hampshire, where I live. Okay, and then how to host a meetup. So you can apply to host, or you can propose an event in the Bolt community on River. That's rbr.to/Bolt. If you don't see like an event that's already near you that doesn't have a host, you can always propose one. Once you're approved, you just set your location, capacity, and then share on social. Chances are there will already be our RSVPs and registrants, just because this community is on fire and so many people are trying to get together. We review host applications every business day, and so we're pretty fast. Shouldn't take too long to hear back, unless it's like a major tier 1 city like London and we're trying to like work out something with a sponsor. But other than that, it's usually very fast. And it's super fun. You can meet local like-minded people and grow your following on River, which I'll talk about in a second. And so probably we're a pretty new startup, so most people probably haven't heard of us, but River is an in-person community event and social platform. At River, we turn online audiences into IRL communities. We're different from other event platforms because brands and influencers and community members kind of set the intention for the events, and then vetted community members step up to host in their city. The hosts, you'll be building status with Bolt. They know who you are. Though I'm sure there'll be lots of perks, and there might even be some prizes for hosting. And then as people register to your event, those people become automatically your followers on River. And so you can later invite those people to a personal event or a Bolt event. And so it just kind of creates this flywheel of energy. And just orders of magnitude of more community events happen on River than they do on other event platforms. So far, we've been working with Tim Ferriss, some Web3 communities. Jason Calacanis hosts All In and This Week in Startup meetups on River. And you can check these out later. But yeah, it's just when you wait for someone to propose an event, you have like 1,000 times fewer events than if you create the event campaigns the way we do. Okay, so if you want to host, you just find an event near you. You can apply to host it, or you can propose an event in your city. Once you propose an event, it'll get dropped into our review cycle. We'll take a look at it. As long as everything looks great, it will be approved that day. You can apply to host a local event. Sometimes we create event campaigns like for the IRL watch parties. So you just click apply to host and fill out a light questionnaire, and then you'll be approved. Once you're approved, you update your event details. So you set the date and the time. If we create an event and you apply to host it, the date and the time is just a suggestion. That's just when we think the event should happen, but it can totally be up to you. You pick what's convenient for you. When you're setting the location, keep it free and simple. I don't pay for a private venue space. Just like grab a corner of a hotel bar or a corner of a coffee shop, or go to a co-working space, or if your friend works in an office, say, hey, can we come hang out for an hour? Just keep it simple. And then set the capacity. It depends on the host and the location and stuff, but you can just generally plan on a 50% show up rate when you're setting the capacity for your events. And then during your event, we send an SMS asking everyone to snap a pic or a video and upload it to the event page. We collect all those photos and videos, and we will be sharing them, and the Bolt team will be sharing them and tagging you and getting all sorts of juicy user-generated content online.
I got a quick comment on that one, Rachel.
Ooh, give it to me.
We haven't like we haven't publicly announced this at all. So you guys, again, these live streams are where you're going to get the early scoop on stuff. We are working on a pretty wild docu-series covering kind of the transformation of Silicon Valley, the AI revolution, the story of Bolt, and ultimately the hackathon and the folks involved in the hackathon. I'm not going to say any more about who's doing the docu-series, but probably someone that you know. And it's going to be really, really cool. So when you're at these events, when you're hosting an event, when you're capturing photos or videos, right? Even you could shoot interviews with the people that show up to the meetup, quick 2-minute kind of interviews, what they're thinking about building, their background, how they heard about the hackathon, what they think about AI and starting companies. Like those are kind of the topics. Drop those into the River Meetup thing. The docu-series team has access, and they are going to be looking for user-generated content from the community. So you or someone who attends your meetup could very well get featured in what's going to be a pretty awesome docu-series if you just use the content sharing in River.
Hell yeah. Can't wait to see it. I'm personally hiring a professional videographer because I want to be in it. Not just filming it. I'm always behind the camera. I'm never in it. Okay, and then as you're hosting, you will be building status within the Bolt community based on the number of events you host and your host rating, and then more people will discover your profile and follow you on social, and lots of juicy things will happen. You can invite local Bolt community members to your Bolt event. So this is what's cool about River is once the community is kind of onboarded and in the Bolt community on River, if you propose an event in Zurich, you can just and your event gets approved, you can just automatically invite all of the local Zurich Bolt community members. So you don't have to worry about getting people to your events. River really helps you do that. Also, anyone who registers for your event that you host automatically becomes your follower on River. And then when you create an event, whether in the Bolt community or under your own personal calendar, or you launch your own community, then you can also invite those people to your events. So we're all about getting everyone to your events. I wanted to just share some quickly FAQs that people have been asking. So some people have asked, why aren't some countries allowed to participate in the hackathon? And this is unfortunately due to local laws in some countries that prohibit gifts and rewards associated with winning hackathon prizes. There's absolutely no limitation on where you can host a meetup. You're welcome to host meetups anywhere. But for like participating and getting awards, certain countries are very limiting like that. I know Quebec in Canada does that. I think Italy has some weird laws, and definitely China. But you're very welcome to vibe and get together. I actually was just in Montreal recently, and I heard that some people are like just going to Toronto so that they can participate because it's in a different province. There's not a physical event in my city. Can I host one? Absolutely. It's very simple. Just propose an event on River. We do ask your profile and your bio be filled out just so that we can vibe check you and make sure we think that you'll be a good host. Dates for events can be changed. Those are just suggestions. We just find that more events convert if we kind of say, hey, it's all happening at once, but do whatever works for you. Hosts get to pick. That's the perk. Pick when and where it is. Where should I host my event? We suggest co-working spaces, coffee shops, libraries, common areas. I do not recommend paying for venues or doing very heavy things. Just keep it light. Hotel bars are often like hotel lobbies that often work. It's not that you'd want to go there for a date, but if you're going to bring 10 people to hang out, they're just very good at dealing with larger groups. Am I expected to cover the cost of the event? Hosts are not expected to pay for anything. So we just strongly suggest you choose a free open venue where people can buy their own coffee or their own food or their own drinks. Just keep it light. You're just really just kind of planting a flag and getting people to gather, and great stuff will happen from there. And then, are these events sponsored? So community-led events are not sponsored by Bolt, and getting a sponsor is not required. We do have a little sponsorship form. If someone applies to sponsor your event, we will absolutely let you know and put you in touch so that they can pay for stuff. So not required, but if someone comes out of the woodwork, we will connect you. I wanted to shout out some hosts. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe we can go through some questions right now. Just because I see
great.
some kind of popping up here. Let's see. There was one that were. This one's looks like specific. I'm on the wait list in my city. Can I simply host another event? I host several events a year, so it's pretty easy for me to put together.
Absolutely. And then which maybe hit us up somewhere too, because we also check. Okay, what happens is we set a capacity for 25 because we don't want a host who applies to get overwhelmed and like inherit a 500-person event. So chances are a host can also just increase the capacity. If you reach out to Intercom, it's a little green chat bubble on River. Someone from our team can help coordinate, and it might just be a matter of either bumping up the capacity or help you spin up another event. Absolutely.
It looks like we have some questions on virtual events.
Yes, River supports virtual events. So you can just drop in a virtual link like a Google Meet or a Zoom or whatever. We're doing StreamYard at the moment. You can drop in a virtual link and have people join. Very easy.
Awesome. Okay, it looks like we have a couple questions about the project specifically. Maybe we'll answer a few now.
Go for it.
Let's see. Okay. Do we need to work with others?
You can absolutely form teams, but it is not required. You can, the other thing is you can join a team, submit with a team, and submit your own project. So really, yes, no, whatever you want, all of the answers are valid for this question.
Excellent. Let's see. Are you eligible to enter if you're a mentor?
Yeah, this question has come up. It's a tricky one, honestly. I think if you read the rules, there's a clause about not having even the potential appearance of a conflict of interest. So I don't know, does that create the appearance of a conflict of interest? From our perspective, we're not going to be providing any special access or benefits to the mentors related to the hackathon that won't be available to everyone. In fact, the whole point is to provide the resources to the mentors so that they can provide it to everyone. But in terms of exactly how we're going to handle that, I would say if you're interested in being a mentor, apply and let's discuss.
Awesome. Okay, there's a couple of questions I just want to get to that we've been getting a lot of. Can we get bulk credits, or will we be providing these for the hackathon?
So we are going to be announcing what we're calling the Hackathon Builder Pack in the coming days. There'll be bulk credits and a bunch of other really cool stuff from the sponsors in there that's going to help you build your projects. So the answer there is yes.
Okay, and then one more right now. Let's see. We've been getting this one a lot. Can we submit an already made project?
No, the rules are very clear on this one. What you submit, you must begin building on the beginning of the hackathon, which is May 30th.
No cheating.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay. Is that it for questions for now?
Yeah, for now. Back to you.
Amazing. Okay, I wanted to shout out some more hosts. Unfortunately, I can't pronounce everyone's name, but Felipe in Uruguay, Maya in Netherlands, Ray in Toronto, Taylor in Austin, Lemmy, he's one of our engineers, he's in Kenya, Dale in Jakarta, Pablo, who has great hair, in Cape Town. Thank you to everyone who stepped up to host in your city. You guys are the hosts with the most, and getting people together is awesome. One little note I'll mention about hosting is I'm still me when I go to an event or I host an event. But when I host an event, everyone wants to talk to me. When I go to an event, no one cares about talking to me. It's just like so funny how I'm still me. I'm still like, I raise money. I used to be a marketer. I worked in San Francisco in tech startups for 7 years. But like, yeah, when I attend an event, people just aren't as curious about me as they are with hosting. And hosting is easy. Usually it's a little scary your first time, but you realize after your first time, it's super easy. And then you kind of can rinse and repeat. And it's just a super fast way to build your network. And I wanted to fly through this, but I just want to say like why commuting matters, especially in this age of AI and everyone being remote. We're in a loneliness epidemic. Change in average minutes spent at home compared to 2003 skyrocketed during COVID. And when I saw this chart from the New York Times, I was like, yeah, but we're all just working from home now. So this is kind of bullshit. But it's actually not true. This is not a work from home problem. So this is the percentage of 12th graders who are going out with friends 2 or more times per week. And for both boys and girls, it's been on a steady decline since the 90s. And they aren't working from home. They are just not hanging out with their friends, which is super sad. And no, we don't prefer it this way, because I was like, okay, well, maybe we're all just introverts now. But if you look at search trends for social groups near me, how to meet people, where to make friends, it's all just been on a explosive growth trend. So people are definitely looking for more ways to get together. And then if you haven't read the book or seen the documentary, it's pretty cool. Joiner Day documentary has been winning tons of awards, super interesting. But the original research is by Robert Putnam. And he says that your chances of dying over the next year are cut in half by joining one group, which is kind of insane. And weekly social interactions reduce all-cause mortality between 19 and 91%, depending on the interaction quality and intensity. So it's good for your health. Hang out. A lot of people want more community in their life, but they're not really sure how to create it or how to find it. I like sharing this, the components of community. It kind of starts with shared values and interests. So if you are on this live stream, you're probably interested in building. I think this is just like great kind of cornerstone or flag to like gather around, meeting other builders. And then someone has to take action and create proximity and consistency. If you just get together, once a quarter, or it's not that nearby, it's just never going to work. You get to get together more often. As you get together more often, rituals, group memory, and lore will kind of form, and you'll have like inside jokes. And then as more people are attracted to your community, you'll have to kind of start establishing norms and some rules, and maybe even some governance of like how we act. And then of course, food always helps. So highly recommend having food. And this is one of my favorite tweets. It's probably understated how much social life is kept together by like 1 or 2 people who do all the planning and ask people to go out. Without these people, the keystone would be gone and no one would ever get together. So if you're one of these people, bless you, you're my favorite people. And this is all just a long way of saying IRL is better than URL. Getting together, breaking bread, building things is just such an amazing way to build friendships. I'm going to shout out a few more hosts. So we've got Hussein in Cairo, Matt in Auckland, Boone, which is a very cool name, in Singapore, Jordan from the Late Checkout team. He works with Greg Eisenberg. He's hosting in Nashville. Carlos is in San Francisco, Akshay in DC. All of these names are much easier for me to pronounce than normal. Chris in St. Louis, Danny in Denver, Mike in Miami. Did you guys all play in that? D&D, M&M. And Zach in Manchester, Martin in Mexico. Thank you so much for hosting. So that's a wrap here. So powering the world's largest hackathon, you can find that at bolt.new. You can join an IRL meetup powered by River at rvr.2/bolt. Would love to help you get together in person.
Awesome. Thanks,
Amazing.
Rachel. Super excited to see all the pics and videos coming back from the meetups that have already happened. Question I have, I don't know if you, did we get into the different types of events that we're expecting?
Oh, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't. Okay, so we've been doing kickoff meetups. So for team formation, having ideas, I'm hosting mine tonight. Like 90 of them happened last night. Some are happening next week. It's never too late to host one in your city. So go ahead and propose one. And then we will be suggesting co-working sessions. So I'm going to be hosting a weekly co-working session on Thursdays in my town for anyone who's participating in the hackathon. They can come together and just build together. So those will be happening. And then we will be spinning up the IRL watch parties, and we will give dibs to people who've been hosting. We'll give them dibs and early access to host an IRL watch party of the live stream award ceremony. So get your popcorn, get together. The awards stream will be July 26th, and it's going to be at like 10 a.m. San Francisco time. So that's like a breakfast time. On the East Coast, it'll be like a lunch party. And then if you're in the Europe, it'll be an evening party, and maybe APAC super late. So there'll be all different time zones because it is a live stream. So it'll be like tuning in to watch the Oscars or tuning in to watch the Super Bowl, but in your living room.
Awesome. Cool. I think that's thank you for sharing that, Rachel. These IRL meetups are really an important part of the hackathon. Also, I will say, right, as a company, Bolt has just been super excited working with the River team. If you do not have an event team and you want to have global in-person events and you need help doing that, I highly recommend that you hit up Rachel. Very easy to contact her. RAE@getriver.io.
Thanks.
For business purposes. If you email her, you have to pay her money. So just keep that demand it. But highly recommend working with her and the River team if you have in-person event hosting needs. So gotta get that in there.
Get together. It'll change your life. You'll meet friends.
And with that, I think Kate, maybe we do some Q&A and then wrap this thing up.
Yep. Let's get some questions answered here. Let's see. Okay, this has kind of come up in a couple different versions, but how complex do these submissions need to be?
Well, global event, some of the smartest people in the world competing, $1 million in prizes on the line. I don't think they'll be too complex, just submit like a landing page or something. No.
Look, we may or may not have a specific prize tier that's dedicated to building something very simple. But Alex, you're right. Like, we have so many amazing people across the globe that have built so many amazing products from the ground up that are going to be participating. So the competition is going to be fierce. It's going to be fierce.
It will be. But yeah, we shouldn't totally spoil the announcement there, but stay tuned. There will be absolutely some prizes that you can win with literally, I'm not saying you will win, but you can compete for them, and everybody competing for them will actually be time limited, where it's kind of like a couple minutes is the most you're going to actually be allowed to dedicate to competing for some of the challenge prizes that we're going to do. But yeah, for the big prizes up top, I think we're going to see really powerful applications that solve a real world problem and deliver value for real users. So that would be, there's been a lot of questions around theme, and like we're gonna announce a bit more on the judging criteria, but while there will be different themes for different challenge specific prizes, for just the overall prizes, like the grand prizes, really the focus is going to be on that. Like, how do you deliver real value to the world? And so that would be the guiding principle that I would recommend that you focus on.
This was fun.
Gotten this question a lot. Is there a theme, or can it be anything?
Yeah, I just addressed that. So it's, just deliver value would be my guidance there, and stay tuned for the specific sub-prize themes.
Can we use our own code along with Bolt code?
Absolutely.
Let's see. Okay, a lot of questions about prizes. Again, we will be announcing that end of this week, right, Mallory?
Yes. So stay tuned for our newsletter, social channels, but yeah, and the dev post page will be updating the pricing there too. So
are we limited to how many projects we can submit?
No. Every submission needs to be materially different from each other submission. So my recommendation is to not spread yourself too thin. Given the level of competition, quality is much more important than quantity. So you're going to want to really invest in your submissions, but you are not limited. You can also join a team, submit with your team, and submit on your own. So a lot of flexibility there.
Specifically, how do we register with the team?
So this is being handled through our operational partner dev post. So you can go to hackathon.dev, hit the register now button, and you'll be taken into the portal. The way teams work, teams are really more something that you manage more so than dev posts. All you have to do to submit as a team is basically tag your teammates' dev post usernames in your submission. But really, team management is all on the team lead. So you need to trust your team lead to properly, credit everybody at submission time, because that's what like actually really cements the team in the submission, is when you tag them on dev posts when you submit.
Okay, and then is this being recorded? Yes, this is being recorded. This will be on the Bolt YouTube page. We will also be running these live streams regularly throughout the build period, so be sure to stay tuned. We'll be promoting them. TikTok, X, Twitter, our email list. We'll be promoting these everywhere. So seeing a lot of questions about prizes and sponsors, and definitely stay tuned, follow us, and we will get that information to you soon.
Also, if you register to the River event, which I can't seem to post the link because it thinks I'm self-promoting, but if someone else can post the link to the River event, then I'll send a recap email out with like a zillion links in there to everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll get it posted right now.
Yeah, highly recommend that you go get into the River community so that you can be notified of all the future events. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're on there, because we're going to be doing at least one live stream every week from now all the way through the end of the hackathon, and this is where you're going to get questions answered and us leaking announcements early, etc. So highly recommend that you subscribe and come through.
Amazing. Let me just pop the YouTube link in here as well. Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And like I said, follow us to stay tuned. We're really looking forward to it.
Gonna be fun. Get out there and build.
Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everyone. Bye.
See you next week.